Evening, guys. I'm Dave Canterbury with the Pathfinder School. What we're going to do this afternoon is we're going to continue in our Woodcraft on a Budget series. And we're going to talk a little bit about using a larger axe to tackle larger pieces of wood. And the reason that's important is because we may have to, at some point, deal with larger logs. A given scenario would be you are traveling down an ATV trail, or you're driving down a trail with your truck to go hunting or whatever the case may be, and there's a tree falling across your path, and you can't simply drive over it. At that point, you're going to have to move that log, which may involve bucking the log or cutting it into smaller, more manageable pieces to move it from the trail. And if it's got an 8, 10, 12 inch diameter, that can be a chore without a chainsaw. This log has already been bucked down with a saw to a smaller, more manageable piece, but for demonstration purposes, it's the right diameter for something we can tackle easily with the cruising axe. So what we want to do to buck this log or cut this log in half is we want to come in from both sides, understanding that we may not be able to roll the log. We want to come in from the sides in two 45-degree V's or V cuts and then cut it in the middle. We don't want to try to cut it through one side because that's not as efficient as cutting it from both sides if we can, but we may not be able to roll it over to beaver chew our way through it. So two cuts is going to be our best bet to save calories and energy. Now, our axe needs to be very sharp. It needs to be as sharp as your knife. A sharp axe is going to take less energy to cut this log. It's also going to be safer because you're not going to have to swing as hard to make this thing actually cut the log. So keep your axe as sharp as you can. Always keep a mask on your axe when it's not in use. That's just good axe safety. Now, let's talk about this log for a minute. If we're going to try to buck or cut a log this big into two pieces, there's a couple ways we can go about that. If the log is large enough and stable enough that we can stand on top of the log, which this one's not, that's what we want to do, and we want to keep our cuts below our feet going here. If the log's not stable enough to do that, then we may have to come up and cut it over the top. That's the worst case scenario. We don't want to have to do that unless we have to, because we're not going to be able to get that V cut to the inside very easy and get both sides even to be able to split it in half. So if we have to cut it while it's on the ground and we can't stand on it and we can't roll it, then we may have to cut from here and get that 3/4 split and then break it from there. Now, understanding that we can't stand on top of this log, we still need to make our V cut as far down this face as we can without risking hitting the axe handle on the log itself. So we kind of have to judge that by eye, and then we'll have to come over and do the same thing on the back side to get this thing bucked. We want about a 10-inch gap. We want to keep our swings or our strikes at 45-degree angles, and we really want to start low on this side, go low, high, and then medium. Low, high, and then medium. And that will help us to get a better wedge out of this log. We're going to spread our legs out. We're going to put our strong hand on top, our weak hand on the bottom, and when we come up, we're going to slide our hand up the axe handle and back, and when we come down, we're going to slide our hand down the axe. So our first cut will look like that. Our second cut, like that. And our third and final cut was a little bit off, so I'm going to hit it again. Then we want to do the same thing over here. Low, medium, high. Low, medium, high. Low, medium, high. Okay, so we're pretty far down into this heartwood now, and we're clear down in here on our log. Got a dog coming over here. So now I'm just going to try to clean this area here out, and it's not going to take near as hard of blows to do that. And then we're going to switch sides because I'm pretty sure we're halfway through the heartwood here at the pinch point. Okay, there's no question that's the center of our log right there. Ease down a little bit on the force of my swings. Alright, so now we know that we're through the log here. So we've got to be more accurate with our swings because we don't want our axe going into the dirt or the solid ground either. So we're just going to control it with just short creepers. See, I've got that stump back there to catch that axe, and it just went through right there. Okay? There she goes. Okay guys, well we had about a 9.5 inch piece of oak hardwood here that was wet, which both of those things make it a lot harder to cut than a piece of softer wood. But you understand that the job can be done easy enough with a cruiser style axe, and it can be done very safely. The key element to remember here is it takes a lot of calories and energy to do this stuff, and you have to be in shape. It took me a good 6-8 minutes continuous chopping to cut through that log on both sides. It'll wear you out fast. If you had to buck an entire log down to manageable pieces by yourself, that might involve making 4 or 5 of these cuts in a short amount of time. Physical fitness is a big part of woodcraft, bushcraft, survival, the whole 9 yards. But in this series on budget woodcraft, I wanted to talk about the cruiser style axe, talk a little bit about safety when bucking logs with your axe. I'm Dave Canterbury from the Pathfinder School. I appreciate you joining me today for this short video. I thank you for everything you do for our school, for our family, for our business, for all of our sponsors, affiliates, instructors, and friends. And I'll be back with another video as soon as I can. Thanks, guys.